PWCC is a great way to sell your sports cards. If you're looking for a way to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel, consider using the promo code Cajun, all caps, CAJUN, when you're selling your cards on the PWCC marketplace. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you from the great state of Louisiana, and this is an impromptu video. I don't even think we discussed what we were going to call these things, Jeff. I've got Jeff Henderson with me. He is mid-level MJs. First, Jeff, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me on here.
Always. This is not our show. This is the first time we've actually talked sort of virtually in person. Let me give some people some background around who you are. This is going to be a Jordan-centric episode. We are going to talk about one particular Michael Jordan card, which we're going to get to in just a second. Well, let's get that out of the way. We're talking about the 1996 EX2000 credentials, serial number to 499. Funny story, I didn't know that's the card we were talking about until about 30 seconds ago. So bear with me.
You should have.
I should have, because Jeff told me it was. I misread it, and now we've got it right. I am always seat in my pants, so we're going to figure it out. Before we get started, I want to share with you guys, this is Jeff's YouTube channel. Recently started YouTube channel. If you guys like my channel, like what I do, like the way I talk, like to hear about Jordan stuff, I go outside of Jordan a good bit. Jeff, you don't. Your channel is Michael Jordan, period, correct? 100% through and through.
Yeah, I mean, as I'm starting off right now, will I veer off into some other, like maybe 90s guys? Maybe, but for now, I'm sticking with Jordan. Yeah, as you can see, I've got a few videos out that to give people a taste of it. I haven't posted in a little bit. Had a kid, got really sick, holidays, a lot of stuff going on, but we'll start gearing up. I've got some projects that I'm working on. Coming up. But pretty much my thing for mid-level MJ is, people will watch your channel, Cajun Cardboard. We love gawking at the grails that you get and that you're searching for, and for this is a little bit more of people in maybe a slightly lower tax bracket that is looking to collect in a strategic, maybe sabermetric kind of a manner. So you kind of think of it like Moneyball, right? So if you you can get viewers of this channel can be Brad Pitt, and I'm Jonah Hill, right? That's the name of the guy.
I'll take it.
So so I'm just to preface kind of what I bring, a skill that I bring to this game is I'm skilled at web scraping and data analysis and program analysis. That's higher than your typical Excel type stuff. And so I've been able to scrape through and get every single Michael Jordan card that's in the Pop Report by PSA. And then I've also done it with Beckett too, recently. So this allows me to kind of do a lot of things. And I know there's some PSA like logs that are kind of funky and maybe erroneous. But for the most part, it looks pretty good. So I've been doing things like right now I've got a series on here to get the channel kicked off with the lowest the lowest gem rate Jordan cards, with a threshold of at least 1,000 that got submitted, right? Because if lower numbers is going to be wacky.
Just small sample size ain't going to be helpful. Yeah.
And it's pretty. I was able to kind of find in the fourth video, especially the number of early 90s and especially late 80s Fleer cards that show up at the very bottom. Gave me a good bit. I do a little bit in the video. It's probably really dumb, but I tried. Where my theory is Creed Bratton from The Office worked at Fleer in quality control, a paper company. Before his time at Dunder Mifflin, and I think you'll kind of see why, because it's a joke how terrible those Fleer cards are, and they show up high in there. But yeah, in any case, that's kind of the point. I'm looking now that I have Beckett data. I'm gonna go through. Actually, already done it. And see how many black label Jordans exist. I don't know if people know that. Maybe I'm dumb and that's already common knowledge or something, but I haven't seen it online. So I went and did it myself. So I'll probably do a video on that, and umpteen other things. So a lot of stuff that I'm looking to do.
Yeah, I always just kind of flush the black label stuff because I'm just not the guy that's going to pay that premium. I mean, I've seen some crazy black label Jordan stuff, and I was like, I love the card. I'm naive enough to pay the premium for a PSA 10 copy, but I am not naive enough to jump that magnitudes and buy a BGS black label. I'm just not that guy. So I'm a grade snob, but I'm not the king of grade snobs.
I would never video myself to hope to, but yeah, it's kind of fun to see, to know what's out there,
You have another good video that I watched. It was the first one where you talk about, the 100 most submitted cards to PSA. I just encourage everybody, go out there, go ahead and subscribe. Let's pull it up. It's just mid space level space MJs, and go pull it up and go check it out. He's got a couple videos out there. You could probably watch them all in about 2 hours. Here's the deal. Jeff talked for a while about what his channel's about. I think I can safely say in a nutshell, if you like collecting Michael Jordan cards, and if you like statistics and probabilities and prognosticating and maybe finding, I know I hate to use the word arbitrage because it sounds so impersonal, but if you like finding incongruencies in the data that may yield profits in the future from an investment perspective, or maybe you're just trying to grow your collection, but maybe you want to grow it in a really thoughtful, statistically driven way, Jeff does a really good job on his YouTube channel of kind of highlighting cards that are worth X, but maybe they should be worth 2X or 3X just based on the population, the gem rates, and things like that. In a nutshell, I think that's a good kind of overview of what, at least what I've seen on your channel so far.
And one other quick thing, just before we move on here, and I do have a video in there somewhere on it. Another recurring kind of thing I want to do, and I've got one on there, like I said, is get an update for what cards at PSA, and maybe I could do this with the ones you've been sending lately. What cards have been getting graded at PSA lately, right? So because I've scraped all of the pop report data, I've got that. All I need to do is scrape it again at a different time, can compare the two and see what has been added. What cards have been getting high gem rates that maybe you want to send in. If you have, you might actually have a chance to get a good grade on. Things like that can really help and be kind of relevant, right? Like what's going on recently with PSA. Could do the same with Beckett.
That's if you've been following this cross country collection that I bought with all these raw cards, I am constantly, daily making this decision 100 times a day. Do I grade it? What's it worth in the 8, 9, or 10? Should I send it to PSA or BGS? Where do I put it in the stack of submissions? The order. Does the order matter? I wonder if the order that the card appears in your submission matters. Should you put a really important card after a card that's a low-end card that you think is going to grade better, to where I don't know. There's all sorts of mind games you can play, and it's kind of a circular kind of thing to ponder. But
I wonder if that. So a couple of things with that. I wonder if the PSA graders know that and be like, "Oh, I see what you're doing here."
Oh, I see what you're doing, you bastard. Yeah.
And then also,
just 86 Fleer.
When I get my cards back from PSA, they're never in the, or at least I'm pretty sure they're not in the same order that I sent them in. So
really? Mine are in exactly the same order.
Maybe I'm just dumb and they are, and I don't like meticulously track it, but I don't know. Who knows?
Mine, it didn't used to be that way, but I would say the last 1,000 I've gotten back have been exactly the order. And I know because, we're fellow nerds here talking. You may be on another level nerd than me because you're smarter than me, but I have spreadsheets as well. And so my spreadsheets, I cut and paste.
Are beneath me. I don't use Excel.
Oh, you don't even use spreadsheets, right? You have a robot. You have a personal MJ robot assistant to help you. But my spreadsheets, I just cut and paste my PSA submission form into the spreadsheet, and then when the grades come back, the grades I just cut and boom, they're in, and I put them in. They're always in the exact same order. So that's how I kind of know. This is Jeff's Instagram. So go follow him on Instagram. It's same thing except there's underscore. So it's mid_level_MJ. So go give Jeff a follow on Instagram as well. You'll see a bunch of Jordan stuff on there. There's your Legends magazine hand cut. I like it. So
I have that one. I brought a few show and tells. I don't know if we have time to get to it, but did I bring that one? Maybe I didn't. I brought one that, okay, so I'm pretty sure you messaged me and I outdid you on, and you were mad at me. But this one here, let's see if we can, oh, it's going to be dumb. Let me
never compromise. Yeah, you were going to give me a price, and I never got the price.
You can see it without, that one. And then this one's my prize. One of my prizes, a 9.5 hardcourt heroics.
Yeah,
that one's cool. Actually, the reason I got that card is because I pulled one back in the day, and I still have it. I sent that to get graded and got a 7, but I wanted to get a nice. And that one's super.
Well, look, before we go any further, I know you're in California, so this might be normal, but did Pee Wee Herman know that you rated his wardrobe with that shirt you're wearing?
Let's see what's out here. Yeah, I don't know. What's on? Look,
I caught you unprepared.
That was an impromptu question. I'm going to have to get back to you on that.
Get back to me. See what you can do. Listen, let's do this. Let's get going. Let's talk about the credentials. This is the card. You chose this card, and I said, Jeff, when you approached me about just picking a card, pick a card, any card, and that might be what we name this thing. I don't know. Maybe somebody in the comments will give us a good title. But you said, let's do the 96 EX 2000 credentials. And you had a reason, and I was like, I don't care what card we do. I literally could pick any Jordan card in the world and listen to you talk about it, and then talk about it myself, and then tell stories about it as much as you want. And you could pick any card you want. And you chose the 96 EX 2000 credentials. Tell us why. This is the card right here. Tell us why.
Yeah, so in my unbiased opinion, this is the best looking Michael Jordan card, pound for pound. But that's not why. So the personal story, back in like 97, 98. So when I was, I collected as a kid from like 96 to 98. So kind of the real prime insert years.
Yeah.
Before, that was kind of the age where I was kind of, I don't know, 6th, 7th, 8th grade, or maybe a little bit younger or whatever. Once the bras started coming out of the girls' closet, my cards went into my closet.
Funny how that works.
Story as old as time, right?
Right.
But I remember growing up in the suburbs of Chicago, Bulls fan, Jordan, watching every game, and I went to a sports card shop that had this card raw, just in a top loader, and as I recall, it was $350. Mm-hmm. And of course, that was too much for me anyway, even at that time. But I just loved the way it looked. I loved that it was serial numbered. And so what I did is I went back home like a dumb little idiot kid, thinking, hey, I know what I'll do. I'll get my Beckett value book. I'll get these $20, $35 to $30 cards that I have that make it equal value, and think this dealer can sell those 30 cards just as easily as this one, premium card. Thinking that he would make that trade, because I asked him, hey, are you open to trades? He's like, yeah, sure. And it's like, all right, I'll come back. That didn't work. I was devastated, moved on. But this is now my, this would be the card that I would love to one day get. Will that ever happen? Probably not. And I probably won't even learn my lesson, because now I've got, I've got a collection of cards that are certainly not, at this value. I'll probably just, time is a flat circle, and find this somewhere and bring 20, 30 graded cards to see if they'll trade for it.
And do it. Yes. Do a bulk trade. Well, look, here's the deal. I've always said I'm the most transparent dude on YouTube. I want to warn people. This is not a pump and dump. Number one, it's never a pump and dump on my channel, because you guys know when I finally get the Jordan card that I don't have, the unique addition to the Jordan PC, it's not for sale. Will I sell Jordan cards? Of course. I'll sell duplicates. I'll sell lower graded cards. I'll sell cards that I pick up in collections that I already own, of course. But it's never a pump and dump. It could just be a pump, but this is a pump and purchase, because I don't own this card. And so when you brought it up, I was like, that's a great card to talk about. I've kind of put it off because I keep seeing it, in like a BGS 8 or BGS 8.5. And I'm like, damn, that is really expensive for that grade. And so I've kind of put this card off on the back burner, and it might come back to bite me. I might end up paying a hell of a lot more one day when I do pick it up. I've got the last Card Ladder PSA 9 sale at $16,800 like 3 months ago. That is a humongous number. Like, there is a lot of cards that you can pick up in PSA 10 that really matter for $16,800. What do you think about where this card's been kind of value-wise? If we hit the pop report, Jeff, look, let's just figure out what is the working man's grade, right? I think it's probably PSA 8 or 9 and probably BGS 8.5 to 9, right? And you love numbers, and you're better at numbers than I am, and you dig a little bit deeper even than I do. You know, if you got a PSA 9 at 16, and then you got a BGS 8.5 at, I'm going to guess, around 40% value, I like the 8.5. You know, depending on the subgrades, depending on the card itself within the slab, because not all 8.5s are the same. But damn, 8.5 at 6,000 and a PSA 9 at 16,000. Yikes.
Yeah, and I did a little work. I think I looked on alt. I saw BGS sold for 5K in BGS 8 sold for about 5K in July of 23. I don't know if you see that one in there. That's probably around where I would be. You know, working man's potential. The thing of this card, as you know, I've heard you talk about it before, is the diamond cutting is really just, and I'm not too OCD usually with cards, but
this one's extreme, Jeff. Yeah, the top, and it's at the top that it's most noticeable, and it's like the first thing you see. It drives me crazy, dude. Another issue with this card, again, it's similar to the base card, which is, by the way, a really freaking good-looking base card, and also a very expensive base card for Jordan in the 90s, is that there's these little fibers that you may have noticed this. It hangs from into the window pane background from the like window border. It's little tiny white fibers that come from kind of like the border, and it's real hard to get those off without damaging the card, and you can wipe and wipe. You almost got to take a tweezer to like remove the fibers before you send it in for grading, because I had a couple of EX 2000 base cards that I sent in, and it was like, God dang, getting all these fibers off is impossible. I was trying to do it with a little microfiber and just kind of press on it and remove it, and it wasn't working. And so I think tweezers, and I don't mean like manipulate the card, because, you know, I don't alter the card, but like just like get the fiber off. It's almost like a little hanger. I call them hangers. I was like, this card's got like 12 hangers. The hell with it. I'm just not going to grade it.
Yeah, it's not exactly plastic surgery if you're just cutting the nails on the card. I see what your spin there is. Yeah. I sent a couple of base ins too. I didn't have that issue, and they both came back 9, so I was pretty happy with that.
Hell yeah. PSA 9 on a base is great, man. Here's what I like, and this is going to sound counterintuitive because people normally like to see these lines going up and to the right, but I don't own the card, and so. And so when I'm looking at this 8.5 graph, I've got it over the last 2 years. You know, the card was $11,000. It pushed all the way to $12,000. And then it's come down precipitously, as no one in Louisiana would know what that word means, to $6,500. So you're almost talking about a 2-for-1 discount, compared to where this card was back in March of 2022. I like to see graphs like this when I am in the market for what I would consider a very big Jordan card. I'm not opposed to picking it up in a BGS 8.5. It's serial numbered to 499. And man, look, if we go look at how many have been graded, I don't know about you, but we talk about this with a high voltage 500, which coincidentally has about the same number, one more, right? There's 500 high voltage 500s. There's 499 of these. It's only been graded, you're telling me 177 times between the two big grading companies. What do you think, Jeff? That doesn't seem right to me. That's like 35% have been graded. It makes me think either, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look like the base. I mean, it kind of looks like the base, but it's a completely different color. So I don't think people were throwing it away with other cards. I don't think they'd be throwing away a base with other cards because it's Michael Jordan and it's a very expensive product. EX 2000 was not cheap. So what are your thoughts on the fact that if there's 499 and 177 have been graded, and you and I both know on a card that's this valuable, let's say 20% are cracking resubs or cracking crosses, right? Seriously, at least maybe more, maybe 30, maybe 33%. So maybe 150 have been graded, worst case. Doesn't seem right.
Yeah, I don't have a great answer for that other than one theory that I haven't heard anyone mention is maybe there's a super collector out there from that like scooped maybe there's one for the 500s and one for this and whatever else that just scooped them all up and is just hoarding them ungraded. Who knows? And
it's wild. It's wild for sure. That's an expensive endeavor.
We both like to talk. It looks like this could be a problem.
It's gonna be a problem. Yeah.
No, I was just going to say I ran a couple of numbers on this set specifically. So I had a question for you. So
Yeah.
So out of all the credentials, 49 of them have graded PSA 10s. I think I have here. Iverson is the most graded. Oh, sorry, it's just most graded. Okay, so Iverson has been the most graded 131 times. Kobe is next at 93.
This is just
Jordan
PSA you're talking about?
Yeah, sorry, PSA.
Yeah.
Jordan is fourth. So my question for you, pop quiz, what player is the third most graded PSA for the credentials? So again, Iverson won at 131, Kobe 93, Jordan is fourth. Who's third?
Oh, I gotta say it's Nash or Ray Allen.
No, it's Stephon Marbury.
Wow. Wow. And I guess the majority of those were graded in the 90s, if I had to guess.
And there are no 10s, so no 10 Marburys. So
really? That's interesting. That's fascinating.
Yeah. I got a note here. They pop control in the Marburys. So
yeah, good. That's a one way to look at it. I'll tell you this. Words of the wise, I would have lost my ass if I was a card investor back in the late 90s because Stephon Marbury checked a lot of boxes. He was a really exciting player.
Right? He was like doing all this stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
He was fun to watch. Stevie Francis too. I remember I was just starting to get out of the game when his cards were like were
Russell Westbrook before Russell Westbrook. I mean, literally the things that we say about Westbrook, he may have been even a little more athletic vertically, maybe not as athletic horizontally as far as speed and, lateral quickness, but like vertically, Steve Francis was pretty damn special. Go check out the dunk contest that they took from him. I think it was was he in the Vince dunk contest?
That sounds about right.
It's somewhere around there. It might have been that one, but he was maybe the greatest second place dunker I've ever seen in my life. Of course, I shouldn't say that because Levine and Aaron Gordon also had a really good dunk contest. So did Jordan and Neek, by the way. But Steve Francis would have been somebody who would have left me broke and sad and in the streets for sure. If I had access to money and access to the big time Steve Francis cards back in the day, he was electrifying, fantastic player, specifically with the Rockets back in the day. Yep. Mm-hmm. So this is a great set. I just went through a raw collated complete set of this the other day on my channel, and I was just in awe, and I got a lot of great comments on it, a lot of likes, a lot of views, because I think other people would agree. Just the regular roll set is very cool. It's only 82 cards. So most of the guys in here were the big names. I mean, you didn't go, 180 deep or 300 deep like Hoops back in the day. It's all the big dogs. And with the credentials, they're all serial numbered to 499. And there's no credentials for the checklists. Checklists are 81 and 82. So you're only talking about 80 players serial numbered to 499 in existence. So quick math, that's about what is 8 times 5? 40,000, 39,920.
Yep.
Existence.
Right. That's exactly right. Nobody checked that.
Yeah. If I got that right, you hit my PayPal and make a donation to the channel. 39,920. I'm going on the record. That's my guess. That's how many essential credentials from 96 there are. But man, the cards are gorgeous, man. I mean, we're looking at some of these other cards. You had mentioned Iverson on here, the Pippen card. I had a Pippen. I had to decide whether or not to grade it or not. I looked up the value and I was like, it wasn't the credentials. It was just the base. And I was like, my God, this looks like an insert to me. It kind of reminds me of the Natural Born Thrillers and the Hoop Skyview, the way it's got kind of that window pane background. But I mean, look at the card, look at the clouds in the background, the colors. It's a fascinating card.
If you want to show the people.
Yeah, there's your base right there. There's a base copy.
This is stupid. I'll have to figure out this virtual thing, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I got one pulled up here. Let me pull up my base and the people can see it real quick. Handy dandy PWCC link created. There is my little baby, and I'm waiting to pick up. Actually, this is a great story. This leads into a segue. I've got an offer out there right now on a PSA 10 copy. So not inexpensive, to say the least. Very expensive. And look, I'm going to zoom in, Jeff. There's the little hairs that I was talking about, the little fibers. You see them?
Mm-hmm. I see it on there. I'm looking.
How does yours look?
5 better cards, bro. Mine.
He's got better cards. You got better cards. Your PSA 4 is better than my PSA 8.
PSA 4, sure.
Look at that. Yeah, I mean, you can even kind of see them. Damn, it makes me want to get this thing and remove all those things and regrade it. But I've got a lot of stuff going on, so I'm going to pass on that. I'm going to let somebody else try that. But that might have something to do with why I graded a PSA 8. Because, look, if you look at this one, Jeff, there's no diamond cutting at all. You know, that's the primary culprit that leads to the lower grades is the diamond cutting. Am I crazy that I think this amber border looks better than the credentials? You think the credentials looks better?
Yes, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy. What are you talking about? The credentials border, especially with Jordan in the white, like he's the god. What did Larry Bird say? He's God dressed up in shorts.
I don't know, man.
He's coming out of the heavens. Coming out of the heavens. It's a celestial, like, I don't know, cloud, heavenly, shiny background. That's what's going on.
I don't know. We're going to let the people decide. We're going to let the people comment, Jeff. I don't know. That amber is like a poor man's gold. You can argue that's a gold. The Jordan's first gold parallel. You can argue, but it's a base card.
But poor man's.
Poor man's, yes. Poor man. That's a great looking card, man. For sure. So
did this one come in packs of 2? I remember the next year I bought a couple of packs of the 2001 when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And there's only 2 cards. I don't know if this was the same, which might be why it's very condition sensitive as well. It'd be cool to see how they actually like manufacture. Remember the How It's Made show? If they did that with some of these weird, intricate cards, that'd be kind of cool to see.
Let's see. The 90, here you go. This is some information on the set. Beckett's always a great resource for this. The Skybox EX 2000 set was issued in one series totaling 80 cards. It's actually 82 because there's 2 checklists, I thought. Cards were available in a 2-card pack with a suggested retail price of $399, which today is like $8,000. Right. Cards designs are similar to the – there you go. There, I told you. Cards designs are similar to the 95 Hoop Skyview insert with a clear plastic design inside of a frame with a photo of the player overlap. The cards are designated as condition sensitive due to the easy nature of damaging the cards. A Grant Hill Emerald exchange card was also inserted. Had no idea. 1 in 500 packs. Grant Hill was about as hot as any player has ever been at that era. This card was exchangeable for a Grant Hill autographed ball. Reportedly, the ball. And then it says the base actually looks better than the credentials. Huh. That is
I didn't see that part.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I must have misread that. That's the card, man. That's the card, the EX credentials. What are your plans? Are you actively trying to pursue it?
No, I'm not actively trying to pursue it. It's more of a dream. It's like a dog chasing a squirrel. Like, I don't know if I ever catch it. I don't know what I would do with it. But it's one of those where, maybe if I have enough that I can go to a card show and sell enough cards in order to, buy it. I was able to do something similar with that with the Rave. I've got the what is it? The Superman Rave in a 9.
Show me.
Yeah, this one.
Love that.
Sell for like 3,600 recently.
Isn't that $399?
Yeah, this is even rarer. $399. Yeah,
that's a big time card. I love that card. So I've got this pulled up. Here's some interesting stuff. Let's find the highest selling EX 2000 credentials Jordan at a public auction. Would you believe that it happened in 2021? Does that sound crazy to you? 54,000, 48,000, and 47,000. 9.5, 9.5, and a BGS 9. Somebody bought a BGS 9 for $47,000 in 2021. That would worry me. Let's go see what that's worth today. Oh, boy, this is not going to be good. That's not good. Those are the people that I worry about, right? Those are the people that we need to pull back from the edge, pull them back from the edge of the bridge. It doesn't even show up on Card Ladder. It says 34,000 is the highest ever for a BGS 9, but in sales history, it didn't. Huh? That's weird. Yeah, strange.
Yeah,
strange indeed.
What a year! Anytime you see when the news stories hit how sports cards are jumping up in value, that's when you know it's time to sell.
That's right. That's right. Let's sell. Let's buy back later. I like this. I think we're in a great buy. What do you think, generally speaking? 2 questions for you. First question is, where do you think we are, generally speaking? I say generally, Jordan cards, the kind of cards that you and I collect. Cards from the 90s, the inserts, the parallels. whether you're high grade or low grade, where do you think kind of we are on the time continuum? Do you think we're approaching what's going to be the bottom from a price standpoint for maybe the next 5-10 years? Or do you think we're still finding the bottom? Do you think there's still more room for the cards to drop? We've seen some cards running lately, or at least I have when I do these auction recaps. But there's no general consensus. Jordan cards are going up, Jordan cards are going down. I don't think we can safely say all Jordan cards are going up yet. You think there's still room to drop a little bit?
I would say that, yeah, I'm a little more pessimistic. I guess there's room to drop, and it's all relative to pop counts, right? So
yeah.
I think for cards that we're seeing jump, and I know you cover a lot of them, I'm interested to see if those jumps hold, right? So if they're just
that's right,
4 or 5 sales.
Was it 2 people? Was it just 2 people, or was there 48 people that wanted the card? You know what I mean, Jeff?
Yeah. And then volume of sales too, right? So like cards that don't sell often are likely going to hold value, but then again, they're also the ones that's harder to have data on if they do hold value, right? So it's kind of hard to say. No, I think that's why something I'm doing with my channel is trying to identify what cards are, how many in different grades there are, so you can kind of see, oh, there's a crap ton of 10s here and it has a really high gem rate.
Yeah.
Maybe focus on other cards right now. And kind of like I was saying too, with the looking at updated PSA pop reports.
Yeah.
If you're seeing a bunch of 90 Fleer 10s come in, which you will, because they're
you will. I just got one. Yeah. Speaking of the devil, I just got a great email that popped yesterday. I sent one of them in, the one that looked the best. It came back at 10, of course.
Great. Congratulations, your customer number over 50,000 that got a 10 on the 90 Fleer. Yeah. It's almost in my top graded cards. I think obviously it's number one.
Number one.
Almost twice, I think not quite, but almost twice as many 10s as the Jordan card with the second most 10s. Yeah. Which I don't remember what it is, or like a hoops or something. Yeah. Insane. So I think so as more of those cards are getting more 10s too, the value is probably still a little bit inflated, but it's such a cool looking card, right? Like he's dunking, good pose. It
is. They just printed 100 billion of them. That's the problem. Look, Jeff, I've got pulled up. Last thing before we go, I've got pulled up on here in the card ladder index. You can choose a player. I chose Michael Jordan. Then you can go to cards, and then you can filter it by 3-month percentage change. And I've got it sorted best performing Michael Jordan cards. These are only the cards in the card ladder database. And then I've got another filter, $500 or more. Okay, so we're talking about relevant 90s Jordan cards. The number one performing card by a razor thin margin, the 97 Metal Universe BGS 9.5. Now, my guess is these are going to be very small sample sizes over the last 3 months is what we were looking at. So, so 3 of them have sold. But damn, look at that, right? $455, $625, $900, $1,000 for the last BGS 9.5 Metal Universe base card. The inside-outside PSA 10 is second, also doubling in value, 2x. The Hot Shots BGS 9.5, which I thought dropped too much. I thought that card corrected way too hard. That's an awesome card. There are 118 of them. That's more than I would have guessed. But if we pull up that Hot Shots over the last 3 months, look at that, Jeff. Wouldn't you have liked to have bought it at $48.81, a BGS 9.5 Hot Shots, and now it's up here at $8,999, $8,203 before that.
Yeah, again, though, this one, so this is what I wonder, right? Because we only have 2 heightened sales, right? And the last sale is probably looking at the one before it, thinking, oh, it's worth this. I'll pay comps.
Yep.
So at what point? Again, this is kind of what happened in 2021, right? And then people, it's more of a. So is this a momentum buy? And I think if it's a momentum buy, that leads me to think it's still a little, to the Jordan collectors, maybe a little inflated. That's kind of how I look at some of those numbers and try to look at the psychology behind it.
Yep.
But who knows? I don't know.
Here's a graph. This is just Jordan. This is just everything Jordan that's in the card ladder index. This is high end, low end, high grade, low grade, raw, this, that, everything, 90s, post 2000s, exquisite, all that crap. Down 5% over the last 3 months for Jordan. even over the last 6 months. This makes it look like Jordan ran and it's been coming down the last 3 months. That's not what I'm seeing on the stuff that I care about. The stuff that I care about, that I am looking at in the PWCC auctions, the golden auctions, the cards on eBay, the private deals that I am personally getting done on cards that I am trying to add to my collection. These are cards I do not have, and cards that I am now selling quite often because I have duplicates or lower grades coming back from this cross-country collection. I am not seeing Jordan prices down on anything that I'm selling or anything that I am buying.
No, for sure. And I think it's right now it's a tale of two roads here, right? Because like the cards you're looking at on these PWCC and Goldens and everything else, the cards that are running up, they're lower pop, much rarer cards. Whereas if that was looking at all Jordan cards, like 90% of those cards are going to be, very cheap and less high pops, kind of like I was talking about before. So it's going to it'd be cool if you could group that or filter it into like a price point and see what the or rarity or something. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, well, you can definitely do it by price point. So if I go here and we can go, let's go the last 6 months just to be safe. Well, they don't have 6 months. Let's do 3 months. Let's go here and let's just for filter for price point. Let's put.
This is going to shock you, but you stop sharing your screen. First time you've ever done that.
Never. I had such a good streak going there, Jeff. That's why I have you on here. I would have had to re-record the video.
I remember watching Josh Dawson, right, with the hierarchy project. I remember getting more mad at him for being
Josh, tell him.
Yeah, way too polite. Like, just this is the first time we've talked a few times on the phone, but for the most part, this is us meeting, right? And
you pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna kick you when you need to pull it up. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
You've definitely got the green light to do it. I told Josh, I was like, scream. You have to scream because I'll just keep talking. Here you go. This is Jordan card.
Sure to do it, I'll send it to him if that's what's doing.
More than $5,000 that have 3-month change. I want to go. Let's go to a year change. 84-star rookie of the year, number 288. High voltage, own that card in that grade, own this card in that grade, own that card in that grade. Those are cool. 12500, those are all doubled. Those cards have all doubled. They're over $5,000. Wonder what the worst performing is. Over $5,000. Exquisite. Wow, the Upper Deck game jersey. That's a huge ass card. 40 grand. Records collection PSA 10. Wow, I'm hurting on that because I know what I bought mine for. It's more than $5,000. That's for sure. Duncan Go Nuts PSA 10 is down. That's a card that's actually really easy to grade, and that's one of the very few cards, Jeff, and you may agree or disagree, I would tell people to grade it with BGS because there's a chance you can get a 10.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Watch. I want to make sure I'm not a lunatic.
I'll keep that in mind when I run. So I mentioned before I wanted
to get
Black Label
29.
Whoops. 29. Wow. 29 BGS cents. Wow. Okay. 29
BGS 10s. Yeah. If you look at the pop report, your chance of gymming with BGS is 54%, and 29 of them are 10s. PSA about half, 28%.
That is interesting.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. When I'm going to do a lookup of BGS 10s, not Black Label too.
Yeah.
And so I'll see what else I find in there. I'll probably do a video on that.
That'd be a great topic, man. If you do it, or we could do it together, and you could share it on here or share it on yours or whatever. But like to look at, because that's a dilemma. I've got 2 stacks over here. I've got a stack that's going to PSA, and I got a stack that's going to BGS. And I have my own reasons on particular cards, and I do a little bit of research, Jeff. I will go look at the historic gem rate with that particular card, with PSA, with BGS, and then I'll do a relatively simple comparison of my what I think it will grade, and then the comparison of the values between the 2 different companies, and then just make an educated decision. It's an educated guess, really, is what it is, because you don't know what it's going to grade. But looking at the disparity in prices versus the disparity in likelihood of getting a particular grade in one or the other, you can kind of make intelligent decisions, or relatively intelligent decisions, with as little data as you have. But you could take it to a whole nother level. I mean, you could actually say, these are the cards you should probably send to BGS. These are the cards you should never send to BGS. That would be an amazing video. I think that'd be a huge, asset to the community just to have access to some of that data.
Yeah, that's a great point. I'm gonna put a note on that because since I've got the pulls on both of them, I can definitely do that, merge them and compare rates and all that stuff and see where to send your card to.
Yep. Cool. All right. Well, look, let's kill it there. I've got to run. I've actually got to do my real job. Yes, I do have a real job. But before we leave, I did want to show you guys. I'm on screen share. See that? Mid-level MJs. Just a reminder. Go subscribe to Jeff's page. I've got a big mouth. I told Jeff I'd help him out. He reached out to me when he first put the channel together, and he said, "Do you think it would be a good idea?" I was like, "Hell yes, it would be a good idea." I was like, "I'll subscribe ASAP. I'll be subscriber number one, and I will watch the hell out of that. Number one." And then if you want to follow Jeff on Instagram, same thing, except there's underscores, mid-level MJs. If you type in mid-level, he'll pull up. So follow him on it. Pretty pathetic Instagram following right now, Jeff, if I do mind saying so myself. But we're gonna work on that. We're gonna get you some hype and get you some momentum, and it's fun, man. Look, here's the deal. You may not make any money doing this. I may not make any money doing this, but shit, we would do this for free because this is kind of why we collect, to talk to other people who share common interest. And then everybody that watches my videos, that watches your videos, those are the same kind of people. They're just like us, and they're just looking for something to watch on YouTube that's not politics, it's not war, it's not, fill in the blank, other shitty stuff that makes you, have anxiety and feel bad. It's freaking basketball cards. And whether you're an investor or a collector, there's definitely a little bit of that for both of them on your channel and on my channel, because you may not be looking to flip Michael Jordan cards, but if you're a collector, you sure as hell want to make sure you pay a fair price, and you want to be, have a good firm grasp on what the pop is and whether the pop's growing. And that's kind of where your channel comes in, to help people make intelligent decisions as they venture further into the Michael Jordan card market. And the higher end you get, the more important it is to understand the data that you've got on your mid-level MJ's YouTube channel. And some of the stuff that I talk about on my channel, it just gets heightened. The importance of it gets heightened as you buy more and more for more and more dollars. Just make sure you get it right. So what else? Anything else, Jeff, before we sign them off?
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, please subscribe and like and do all the things to help my channel grow. Unlike Brian, I am hoping to at least get some do the monetize route and get something so I can keep having the motivation to keep doing more of these videos.
Yeah,
I do a lot of other things as well with my data programming hobbies, blogging about sports and all this stuff. So I'm really excited to kind of continue to make these videos, and definitely put some comments down about what things that you think I could look into.
Great.
Kind of that, given what you know of what I've said, what I have, or maybe what I can get. And I'll look into doing some videos on that. So definitely want to have some collaboration to see what people are interested in. Kind of getting some.
That's a great idea. I'm glad you said that. I always mean to ask people, what am I not talking about that you want to hear me talk about? Or what do you want me to go research and try to kind of at least get a good frame of reference and talk about on the channel? And I always forget to, implore the viewers to give us some ideas like that. So I'm glad you brought that up. That's great.
Yeah, what to look up, where I should buy new shirts, anything you got, I'll take.
Yes. In fact, I'm going to put a care package together so you can get an alligator skin shirt like we wear down here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So your friends out in California who are just like us.
Both armpits.
It will be sleeveless. I will warn you. It's a sleeveless vest. It's a sleeveless alligator skin vest. And so you may want to shave up, before you wear it out in public, and definitely don't wear anything underneath it because that would just kind of ruin the allure of it.
You send me that, and hand to God, I'll wear it on the stream.
Well, I've got 3 of them, so I'll just send you. I'll send you the nicest one. All right, Jeff, thanks for joining the channel, man. We will definitely do it again. Thank you guys for watching at home. Hit the subscribe button. Go subscribe to Mid-Level MJs, and drop us a comment and let us know what you thought about today's episode and how we can get better at what we're doing. We appreciate your time. You can listen to whatever you want on YouTube, and you chose to listen to 2 nerds talk about Michael Jordan and the stats behind these amazing Michael Jordan cards. So thank you guys for watching. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby, and peace.